Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, July the 3rd. We are taking on Stage 1 with our tanks. Bit of an unusual landing pattern here, because basically you can land on the left-hand side, you can land on the right-hand side, you can land in the middle, you can throw critters all over the joint. This level is rife with free GBE buildings, like, they're all over the joint. And the point is, like, land at all of them if you want. Just start on the right-hand side and work your way to the left. Because there are some defenses, and you can just use all that free GBE to blow the crud out of those defenses. It's a good time, I promise. The HQ has 100,000 hit points, so make sure you take out those rocket launchers, because you know, at really low levels, I'm going to assume they could actually start doing some damage when you've got to wait for 100k worth of HQ to disappear. Alright, let's move on to Stage 2. It has 120,000 hit points. This time, it's a little bit easier. You can just land on the right-hand side, throw your critters on the left-hand side to blow up some statues, because everybody hates those statues. Well, not that they hate those statues, it's just, you know, they hate what those statues represent. Which I can only assume is communism and a divided Germany because of the wall. History lessons with Beardaholic. So, moving on, Stage 2, I don't know if I even mentioned, it has 120,000 hit points. The HQs today, like, they're freaking up there with the HP. I don't know what's going on. I guess, you know, they had some extra laying around the office and they're just like, yeah, shove that in there and it'll... The good news is, if you go just straight up the right-hand side with your tanks, obviously you wouldn't have critters, but you'll be able to take out the defenses, you'll be very safe, and you'll be able to do the 120k. If you need it, have some Zookas chilling in the back, and throw them in once everything is safe. Alright, so Stage 3, number 1, that barrage was not a miss. I was actually trying to barrage the middle of the ground. I suggest you do the same. It clears up the massive minefield and all the boom mines and everything right in front of the base, and that's what we're aiming for, because this base has 230,000 hit points. It's crazy, right? So, once you kind of cleared up the opening defenses, if you would, I flared right up, pretty much onto the bottom corner of the HQ. Not the actual HQ itself, just south of it. And from there, you can see my tanks have range to blow up the rocket launchers nearby, including the big burly one with the tons and tons of hit points. And then you can GBE the rocket launcher on the left-hand side, and once you're done there, that sniper tower actually doesn't have range on my tanks where they're sitting. So as long as your tanks are chilling like right at 12, or I guess that would be 6 o'clock of the HQ, you're going to have a pretty safe little spot there, and you can just do whatever you want. You can go get a coffee, which, you know, I might have. That's right, it's Santa Claus. Today on Breakfast with Beards, Santa Claus is coming to town. I don't watch breakfast television, but that plastic crap is burnt right into my head. I apologize. Yeah, Alright, Stage 4. We're gonna move right on. Has 170,000 hit points, so the HP is coming back into the realm of sanity. There is a boom cannon that has 7,000 hit points, which obviously you saw me pew-pew from my fancy new gunboat. Thank you, Mr. Crab. Or would it be Mr. T for making the crab? And really, I guess technically he's a doctor, so whatever, fine. I don't know if a veterinarian's a real doctor, okay? No offense to any veterinarians out there. You know, I've got animals, and thank you for making my animals better when they are sick, because I sure as heck wouldn't know what the heck to do. So, anyways, moving on out of the hole, Basically throw a shock down. You can fry the entire block of defenses here if you aim properly on that sniper tower. And then just let your tanks sort of clear things out from the right-hand side at the very top corner there. Now, here's where things get really fun, because once you take out these two mortars in the, I guess, south region of the HQ, and you will take them out because they're right freaking there, you can actually throw some critters down onto the sniper tower and cannon and, you know, just take it right out, because it's fun. Yeah, I've been upgrading my critters. Thank you again, Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs just seems inappropriate. So anyways, moving on. We're gonna go to HQ numero 5. I think Sanko, whatever. Number 5. Number 5 has 199,000 hit points. The boom cannons sitting around it have 10,000 hit points, and the shock launchers have 16,000 hit points. And my solution to all the boom cannons and shock launchers is hide right in front of the freaking HQ. It's pretty much on the beach. Dr. T is trying to drop VP. He's beached his freaking HQ. Okay, now here's the thing about this level. There are a buttload of rocket launchers. There are 2 packs of 4, which you can see on the screen right here and here. The left side, obviously, to shock is very easy. It's a nice little 4-pack. Just drop the shock right in the middle. It'll hit all 4. Blam, like that. However, on the right-hand side, you can still hit all 4 of those shock launchers with 1 shock, as long as you aim very carefully right there. Right where the arrow is pointing. And bam, all 4 shocked. Basically, just envision that as an 8-pack, and if you get right in the very middle of the intersection in that 8-pack, you can stun an entire 8-pack with 1 shock. So, learning with beards, the more you know. Hopefully that'll help you get through number 5 a little bit easier. It is obviously GBE intensive because you're going to be throwing a lot of shocks. Hopefully not as many shocks as me, but I kind of was trying to throw extra shocks to make sure that people could see things and do things and the whatnots. Let's move on. Number 6. 264,000 hit points on Stage 6's HQ. 12,500 on the boom cannons, which are about to go kaplowy. And 18,500 on the shock launchers, which, you know, who cares? Not that I have anything against shock launchers, I'm just saying, really, there's not any shock launchers you need to worry about so much on this level, aside from, like, staying out of their range. So, taking out the boom cannon, because there's the 2 boom cannons right there, and then as you can see, there are a couple more boom cannons that are just south of the HQ, making it the dirty south. Alright, here we go. So, obviously, throw whatever you need to throw at the 2 boom cannons here. And just make sure you don't miss one. Kinda like I did. And then flare up to the top, and you should be able to outrange with your tanks the boom cannon that you can see on the far right hand side. You don't actually have to take that bad boy out unless you actually want to. You can outspan that one. The other advantage is, by blowing up all the boom cannons right next to the HQ, you should have fried pretty much everything in this region, and you should be able to pretty quickly and safely take out Stage 6 for your fat loots, and then move on to Stage 7. And Stage 7, once again, brings back the very in-fashion trend for today: buttloads of HQ HP. So, the HQ on this level has over 500,000, 528,000, give or take. I round, and when the numbers get that big, I run out of fingers and toes, so... The boom cannons on this level have 22,500 hit points. The shock launchers have 23,000 hit points. And there's a lot of them. And what's worse, there's a lot of them, and you need to take them all out because they're right next to the HQ, of course. Who did this to us? Why? Why don't they love us? Alright. So after taking out the shock launcher boom cannon combo up there in the top, I landed all my troops right hand side, obvi, and then threw some critters to try and distract the shock launchers and stuff, because there are technically 2 of them. I also did some... earlier I did damage to that shock launcher in the bottom, and I used the critters to kind of finish it off and distract and do all the things, because once that shock launcher is toast, you can flare up into the right hand side. Your tanks will naturally kind of take out some stuff, but the boom cannon and shock launcher that remain in the south are shockable with 1 shock. They're shocked. Shocking. Shocktastic. It's the shock tank. Alright, so after you eventually blow up all these things because you've been shocking like a beast, after that, things get pretty safe except for the 1 boom cannon that's going to be left next to the HQ. Obvi, you're going to have to toss some GBE at that bad boy, which means I hope you save some GBE for that bad boy. The good news is, because it only has 22,000 hit points, like 1 barrage, 2 artilleries, assuming you have level 20 armory, should make it doable. Maybe 21, 20? It's going to be in the right range. It's going to be okay. It's cool. It's cool. Totally fine. Totally cool. I promise. Alright, so after you take out the last big threat, then it's just a matter of cleaning up some of the defenses on the left-hand side to make the shooting gallery, if you would, safe on the right-hand side for the remaining tanks, because with over 500,000 hit points, your tanks are going to be here for a while. Sorry, it's the way that it is. They're going to be there for a bit. And of course, you're going to always have the crazy tanks who are like, hey, you know what? Instead of going after the HQ, let's just drive forward. And you know what? We'll take out a mortar for no good reason whatsoever. Anyways, hopefully, guys, this will get you through Stage 7. You will get your fat loot, you will get your crystal, and you will get to do the happy dance. I'm so happy. Oh, sorry. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.